This is a memory card case. It's a 0915. It's a micro case series. So right now I'm only have SD card as my highest format as far as the chips. I'm moving into SanDisk eventually. So this doesn't hold a SanDisk. The largest you can get in there are SD cards. If you have SanDisk, this is not an option for you. But so far, the highest or the biggest configuration of a card that I have is the actual SD card. In just a click, it'll reformat an entire chip, and everything that's in there, it'll wipe it off, and then you'll be starting recording from the initial recording. And so that's one of those things where I definitely would like to separate it. I'm gonna label this Pelican case specifically just for the 4K, and it's gonna be an exFAT, and the other one's gonna be specific the actual OX standard, and that's what I'm gonna be shooting with my ADD. Mainly when I shoot with my actual 4K camera, I mainly edit with my Mac, but I also edit with the actual I have a separate PC as well, and I can edit with that. But it gets a little complicated, but if you separate them to begin with, and you have a separate case, and then you completely have it, it makes it easier to manage. It's been a little bit of a journey trying to figure out what can go with what, because eventually these go into the hard drive. But prior to that, you have to go out and shoot. So I generally try not to take my hard drives because they're a little bit bulkier, but I think I have no option when it comes down to the 4K. I'm gonna have to actually take the hard drives and directly link them. This is a close-up look at the actual memory card case. This is a 0915. It's a micro case series from Pelican. I previously already have one from Pelican. This one's going to be an OX extended, formatting only, and this is going to be specifically for my Canon. And I was going to put ADD, but eventually I might cross this out, so I'm just going to leave it as Canon. These things remind me of actually opening up a CD. I'm shooting with my Canon ADD right now. This is my other DSLR, but I'm using this Canon as well as just for an example of like how to organize it as far as both of the actual cameras that I have. exFAT. So definitely this is my exFAT, this is my OX extended, and then I'll be separating my SD cards as I organize them. Right now I have a full house as far as you can see. I don't have any space on the right side, and the left side is completely empty. The cool thing about this is the actual little ports here. It has 6 spaces for the actual SD micros and 6 spaces for the SD minis, and 12 spaces total for your actual SD cards. Don't keep any on the minis. Sometimes I did, but it's easier to overlook them, so you kind of just want to leave it exposed and leave that card spot, or if there's a card, leave a card in there and it'll leave space for that. So this is a really cool, very handy storage option, and it will help you in the long run figure out what formats you have and where you keep them, especially if you're going 4K, which is one of the things that I've been shooting for as far as this year. I've been shooting 4K, and it's slowly over the years I've been adding more and more memory. The more I have actually shot with it, and it can actually fill up fairly easy. The more you edit, you'll figure out that there's not going to be one specific laptop or one specific operating system that you need to be completely towards. You need to be very open-minded, and you need to have both systems, and you need to be very proficient at both of them. It makes you a lot more versatile. It'll help you in the long run edit fast. It's one of the options that I'm moving towards, and then these two cases should do the trick.